Now, if we look around the world today, we see this disturbance, we see this turmoil in very many ways. Perhaps the most pressing, the most obvious to us at this present time is that concerning coronavirus. It seems to be rampaging through the nation, through the world. It has now changed, and this new variant is even more transmissible than the previous one, and it seems to be unstoppable. And when we think about what COVID has brought and what coronavirus means to us at this present time, we perhaps have this sense of trouble. It is overwhelming to us. Perhaps the consequences of what we are facing. We have just now entered a new lockdown. For how long, we do not know. Perhaps we are troubled as to the experience of the previous lockdowns and what we're going to face in this lockdown. Perhaps we found the last lockdown very difficult, but now we're in the winter. Things are much more hard. We are facing this lockdown with even greater dread. Perhaps we're concerned about the social distancing, the way in which we can't meet with people and greet people like we normally would. We can't show terms of affection. We can't get close because we're not allowed to, and it's shunned and it's not appreciated. Perhaps at this present time there's great concern regarding the economic future. What's going to happen when this all comes to an end? What's going to be the impact upon our children and perhaps even our grandchildren over the decisions that have been made? Perhaps at this time we have great health fears. What's going to happen if I get that virus? What's going to happen if I need hospital treatment? Will I be able to have it? Will it be available to me? Perhaps we're worried about the loneliness, all those long days, long hours, long nights without contact or meaningful contact. It is troubling. It's overwhelming. Perhaps we're concerned about what's going to happen to education and for our children. They've had a long period before the summer, now another long period. What's going to be the long-term effect upon that for the children of our country? Perhaps we're troubled by the misinformation that is being bandied about from every side. It's hard to work out what is true, what's been exaggerated, what's been downplayed. We have all of this information out, and you see all these conflicting arguments and conflicting opinions. And how can we begin to fathom as to which is the right one to listen to and the right way to go forwards? How can we make sense of all that is before us? And perhaps we're struggling with this lack of reality. Everything's now on the internet. Our meetings, our interactions, they are online. And perhaps we're losing that sense of reality. It has the feel of a service, but it's not the real thing. We haven't got that fellowship. And we perhaps are feeling like the psalmist here, where we are overwhelmed. We feel like everything is shifting. Nothing is stable. We can't make head nor tail of it. When we think about the present lockdown that we're going through, I was thinking about this earlier. You have those that say lockdown is necessary, and those that say lockdown is completely unnecessary. Most of the medics seem to be saying we need to lock down to save lives and to protect the NHS. And at the same time, you have others that work in mental health in particular that say, don't lock down because it's damaging to health and it's likely to cause more illness and likely to cause more deaths. Who do you believe? And so you have all of these conflicting opinions about just this one issue that we are facing, and it's almost impossible for us to see a way forward. And we can be like the psalmist here, struggling to make sense of things. But the psalmist here isn't trying to make sense of things by his own intrigue, insight, or ingenuity. Rather, he takes a step back and considers his God. And so the command to the believer here is found in verse 10, to be still and know that I am God.